coach Mark D'Antonio on what he's been telling his players all week.
Let's not forget this is a game. Just go out and play. Pressure is there. There's no question about that. But, don't stress out about it. Play the game.
ACC championship game will have number 10 North Carolina and number 1 Clemson at 8 o'clock Eastern. Tigers allow just 288 yards per game. That's 7th in the nation. Clemson head coach Dabo Swinney reacts to all the naysayers about his squad.
About every week, everybody expects us to lose, but I'm glad those people aren't playing in between the lines. We certainly could get beat. This is a championship team. The Coastal Division champion is capable of beating anybody, in my opinion. I think they can beat anybody in the country, but so can we.
Zach Greinke has reportedly signed a 6-year, $206 million deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks. NFL, Cardinals, and Justin Bethel agree to a 3-year extension worth $15 million. And we now know why Eddie Lacy was relegated to the bench on Thursday Night Football. He missed team curfew on Wednesday and was being punished. For the 13th straight year, Dale Earnhardt Jr. has been named the most popular driver at the annual NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Awards ceremony on Friday. Listen to NBC Sports Radio on your local station, online, and the mobile app. I'm Keith Irizarry.
This is KCAA.
From the KCAA Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Jim Rinaldi. For this morning, we'll have a mainly clear sky, plenty of sunshine as we head through the day today, our high 74. It's going to be a mainly clear night tonight with a low of 44. Sunday, sunshine, high 76. Mainly clear Sunday night, low 44. Monday, mostly sunny, high 78. We'll have a mostly sunny day Tuesday with temperatures reaching 80. Wednesday, sunny skies, high again 80. Patchy morning fog Thursday, otherwise mostly sunny, high 72. That's your weather forecast for this hour from the station that leaves no listener behind. NBC News Radio, AM 1050, KCAA.
Hey Di, do you know that many people have no idea that the Carousel Mall is actually open?
What? Do you tell them that that's where KCAA is located?
Of course, but there's more than just KCAA here.
Oh, I know. It's a totally great place for a girls' outing. Here at the Carousel Mall, there's Mega Beauty Supply.
And it's huge.
Yeah, the biggest beauty supply store I've ever seen. And they have wigs and extensions.
Then there's Backstreet Beauty Salon and Daniel's Jewelers, a store, by the way, for girls and guys.
Yes, and Nail Fashions where they do waxing and eyelash extensions. There's Lisa's Threading. You know, Mark, eyebrow threading is a big thing nowadays.
I do know about Mr. Yu's.
Yes, when you're ready for lunch, it's Mr. Yu's Chinese restaurant.
Best of all, Mr. Yu's is right next to KCAA.
Yes, all this located in the Carousel Mall, right off the 215, the 2nd and 3rd Street exit.
Come visit the Carousel Mall. We're open.
For more info, go to kcaaradio.com.
If you're trying to prevent a home foreclosure, you need the Goodman Law Firm on your side. Goodman has a nationwide network of foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has resolved troubled mortgages across the nation. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Call the Goodman Law Firm, 888-800-6030, or contact them online at www.arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Si usted está tratando de evitar que su casa sea hipotecada, usted necesita al Grupo Legal Goodman. El Grupo Legal Goodman consta de una red nacional de abogados, expertos en hipotecas capacitados para representarle durante el proceso de mitigación de su hipoteca. La firma Legal Goodman ha resuelto casos difíciles de hipoteca en toda la nación. Tome el control de su situación hipotecaria hoy mismo. Llame ya 888-800-6030 o contacte al Grupo Legal Goodman en línea arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
KCAA.
Hey there, sports fans. Chabdog here. You have tuned into one of the best shows on the air for all of your up-to-date sports coverage and news. You haven't laughed so hard and been informed so much until you've heard it from the mouth of the sports expert himself, El Chabdog.
Welcome to another edition of Chabdog Sports Talk. It's
It's the weekly sports talk show brought to you by Chabdog Sports Blog, the Chabner Law Firm, providing transactional legal services to Southern California, and by Arnold Goodman Law Firm, mortgage mitigation legal services. And we're on Kcaa, AM 1050, FM 106.5. How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing well, thank you. And if anyone would like to call in and discuss anything with us or talk to one of the guests, the call-in line is 909-888-5222.
All right, well, I hope you had a nice Thanksgiving. I did.
As well.
Yeah, I saw family. Was on the East Coast. It was actually pretty nice weather. And it's just too bad that what happened a few days ago in San Bernardino should never happen at any time. I mean, it's difficult after Thanksgiving when it's such a joyous period for people, and I just want to communicate that my heart goes out to the victims of this awful crime, and I hope they caught the people involved. There's a little bit of obviously uncertainty about why this happened and who's responsible, but those are my thoughts.
Yeah, I would say that it was obviously a terrible tragedy here. We're literally a mile and a half away from where that took place. They did catch the two perpetrators of this heinous act, and they're investigating to see if it reaches further. But again, our thoughts go out to those that lost family members and those that are recovering from their wounds.
Okay, so we got another great day of sports. We got things going on right now in college football with Texas pulling a surprise, 17-0 over Baylor. Baylor has kind of looked sketchy the last few weeks, and their luster is definitely dampened. It's getting less easy to be a Baylor fan. So that 17-0 surprise. Houston's winning 10-0 over Temple in the American Athletic Conference Championship. I know you're on pins and needles about that, huh?
Well, I'll say this about Baylor. They've been going downhill ever since they lost their quarterback.
Yeah. And Houston's got a good quarterback. His name is Greg Ward Jr. And I went to business school with a guy named Greg Ward, and I'm just wondering whether there's any relationship there because I think he was from Houston.
Well, they beat Navy, and Navy was ranked 18th last week. So Houston obviously has a pretty good team. What are they, 10-1 or something like that?
Yeah, I think they're 10-1.
Yeah.
Temple's 9-2. So these are two high quality teams. I'm not that excited about the Alabama game.
Why not?
I don't like watching Alabama play football.
Well,
they're a great defensive team, but they're boring.
Yeah, well, I think Alabama's going to take care of Florida.
They should.
Yeah, Florida lost last week, and they just kind of limped in to the SEC champion. Or not, what conference are they?
They're in the East.
Yeah, the East.
Florida won the East.
Yeah.
Kind of by default, and they have a good defense, but their quarterback situation is a mess
as well.
So Stanford USC is going to be a great game, shouldn't it? I think
it'll be a good game. I don't know that either one's worthy of making it to the Final Four.
Well, somebody's going to have to go to the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
And it might as well, around here, as people want USC, it would be a nice comeback story because of all the coaching carousel situation. We had one of the best players from USC on our show a while back, Zach Banner, and I think he was named Offensive Lineman of the Year in the Pac-12. So
nice.
That's quite my congratulations to you, Zach. That is one heck of an honor. Stanford's a hard team to figure out. I mean, I was impressed with the way they took care of Notre Dame there at the end, but they're kind of a little bit plodding. They run well, and Hogan is a leader, but I don't know about his overall. He's not going to be an NFL quarterback.
Yeah,
I don't think.
Yeah, hard to say.
I shouldn't say. We don't know for sure, but
yeah, but they, what are they? A 2-loss team?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they had a tough schedule. When you take on opponents out of conference like Notre Dame, you're not shying away from anybody.
Yeah, they're favored by 5, so people expect them to win. I think they probably will. It's in a friendly confine up there in Santa Clara, and MSU Iowa is going to be a great game. I think those teams are pretty evenly. Iowa's better than people think.
Yeah, Iowa's had a good year. They
12-0.
Yeah, they obviously they play solid defense and they don't turn the ball over.
Yeah. So that's I think MSU's slight favorite, maybe 3 points. That's a tough one. I think it's. I don't know. I'm inclined to go with Iowa.
Well, I think
just for the hell of it.
I think if Iowa wins, they have to be in the top 4.
And Clemson, UNC. Clemson's getting tons of respect and everything for a pretty ordinary schedule. When they beat Notre Dame, that's a nice win. But the ACC's had a down year. UNC's taking advantage of that. They lost to South Carolina. I was checking that out. That's kind of embarrassing.
Was that after Spurrier left?
That was Spurrier's first game.
Oh.
He had a great start to the season, and then it was downhill. So, what do you think of the whole Les Miles situation? People are, I think, trying to spin that like they really just suddenly decided they loved him, but I think they just settled for him. Given the contract situation, didn't they have to pay a lot of money to him?
I'm sure. He's been around for a long time, and it's the old boys network, and those guys, they parlay that into some significant cash.
The Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
No, they never have any plan on offense other than they need a good running back. They don't have passing games.
Pound and ground. Ground and pound.
So that's the situation in college football. We're going to talk a lot of pro football with our first guest, Eric Sauvé. Did you have anything to say about anything going on in baseball?
Well, you informed me. I didn't see that this morning that Greinke signed with Arizona.
Yeah.
And obviously Price signed with the Red Sox.
He settled for $235 million, I think.
Yeah, that's tough.
Some 200-something million.
That's a tough gig if you can get it.
Yeah.
Price set the bar. 7 years, $31 million. 32, I guess, in the last 3 years. So it ends up being 217 total. And Greinke parlayed that into a bigger number.
And he's a better pitcher, I think.
Well, I mean,
better numbers.
Well, you got Price that's been in the American League his entire career.
Yeah, that makes it hard.
So he's a good American League pitcher. And then Greinke, obviously, he's a good National League pitcher, as he's proven when he came from Kansas City to the Dodgers.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys. Greinke reminds me of Maddox. He doesn't try to overpower you. He just moves the ball in and out, up and down.
He locates it.
Yep, exactly.
In fact, when I watch him throw, I don't like his motion. He's not, to me, a very graceful pitcher. It kind of looks awkward and almost a little like he's aiming it. But I don't know if you see that. But he's obviously not. He's not the most beautiful guy to watch, but he gets it done.
Well, I mean, mechanically, you just want to make sure you have good mechanics so that you don't hurt your arm. And for a guy like that, you can reach the 90s and, mid-90s probably, 92, 94 maybe at times. But it's all about spotting the ball and changing speeds. In order to be an effective pitcher, you have to deceive the hitter. If you just sit there and throw 99-mile-an-hour fastballs, eventually somebody's going to catch up with it.
Yeah.
Major league hitters can hit 100-mile-an-hour fastballs.
Even Sandy Koufax had a curveball.
Exactly.
Yeah. Who is your favorite pitcher to look at? Best form, or the thing in your opinion?
Form.
The kind of delivery you like looking at. I know who I liked, but
probably. Let's see. I would go with Gibson, Bob Gibson, and I would go with Tom Seaver.
I wouldn't guess Tom Seaver. Gibson was very fluid, though.
Mm-hmm.
I liked Sandy Koufax.
Yeah.
I liked watching Louis Tiant pitch.
That wasn't conventional by any means.
And Pedro Martinez.
Yeah. Well, the thing I like about Seaver was if you ever noticed, he got so low and pushed off, and he actually would get dirt on his drive leg.
Yeah, he used his legs.
He would get dirt on his knee.
All right, we're going to go to...
The other guy I would mention is Trevor Hoffman.
Okay, I'll check him out.
Yeah.
We're going to break now, so hang on, because we got a great first guest, Eric Sauvé. all things Detroit. This is KCAA, AM 1050, FM 106.5.
Don't you love her madly? Don't you need her badly? Don't you love her ways? Tell me what you say. Don't you love her madly? Wanna be her daddy? Don't you love her?
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
For more local radio every day, tune into KCAA Loma Linda.
Okay, we're back at Chabdog Sports Talk. Let's get that music going for our next guest. Hello, Eric.
Hey, Chabdog.
Thanks so much for being with us again this week. This is 2 weeks later, with Thanksgiving in the middle, and we have to, since Thanksgiving is still in our mind, we have to pay homage to the Lions in their Thanksgiving Day game. Unfortunately, didn't last. The next Thursday.
Well, that was a great game a week ago Thursday there, where they came off that great victory where they stomped on the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah,
that was fantastic. But I think we really have to call attention again to what happened last Thursday night. I think a lot of women and dogs got beaten severely after that game in the city of Detroit with the rage of Lions fans.
Dogs weren't just beaten; they were shot.
Oh. I think Detroit always loves to best Cleveland, and after on Monday night, just this past Monday, the Browns lost on that kick six, and so it was up to Detroit to try and figure out a way to do even better. And what do you think? Do you think they pull it off?
Well, I mean that
Mike Patterson, by the way, my co-host, right here.
Hello, Eric.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah, that the end of that game was kind of bizarre because the Packers, their offensive line's in shambles, and all of a sudden you get down to the end there and you're down by 2, but you're out of field goal range, so you try the lateral Stanford play.
Back to the quarterback.
Yeah, back to the quarterback.
What was that all about?
What's he going to do with it? He can't throw it again.
And the quarterback ends up getting hurt. Well, that guy's going to lose his job.
Yeah, and so a guy runs a thumb across a face mask, and penalty. And then
that really looked more like a 5-yard penalty, didn't it?
Well,
I don't know. What do you think, Eric?
Well, a face mask is a face mask. So,
look, you touch the face mask, you get called. But I was in Detroit yesterday talking to a live fan there, and he says, the moment that face mask call got made, every Lions fan knew in their gut. They got that sinking feeling.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when you're driving along, you look in the rearview mirror, and the cop puts his lights on.
Oh.
You're just like, maybe he's going to zig past you, he's pulling over somebody else, but no, it's you.
The lights actually came on in the cop car, you think? I mean, I think it was more like the cop pulled up behind next to you, and you knew there might be a reason that he did.
Well, everybody in that stadium and everybody watching on TV knew what the play was. So you would think,
and it was still throw and catch,
right? So you would think
the defense had no clue. The defense didn't know he was going to do a Hail Mary, but you're right. Everybody else on national television stadium knew it was going to be Hail Mary time.
Well, and the old adage is if you play the prevent defense, you prevent yourself from winning. But why somebody's not running with him down the field, I have no idea.
Eric, who was that DB or safety that missed the play? There was one guy I noticed that should have been right there.
Yeah, I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
He's out of the country.
Who's behind the ball? But I was more angry that Megatron wasn't on the field.
That would have been smart, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that's
it's not there.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Nothing's getting by him.
No, but that's a good point. But why are you defending the end zone? Why don't you defend the goal line?
Well, shouldn't you try
exactly. You're going to rush 3 people, then put the other 8. And why you don't need anybody in midfield? Stick them all down on the goal line,
or rush more people and give them less time to load up.
Well, that's what I'd rushed 5. Actually, that's what I would have done. But
yeah, but that coach is not. I don't think Jim Caldwell is. He's nothing special.
No, but Martha already fired a bunch of people, so it'd be like you're really going back to the scrap heap. I mean, I don't know. You're going from the frying pan to the fire if you fire him right now. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, we somebody needs to lose their job over that. That was just, and I'm sure.
And there's rumbling that Caldwell is going to lose the job, but you guys realize that in that game, the first time that Green Bay led the game and covered the spread was that play. Up until that point, Detroit had it in space.
Yeah, no, I understand, and that would have been a big win for Detroit. It might have gave them some hope, and Green Bay, they lost 4 out of the last 5, and they were kind of, after starting 6-0, that wasn't boding well for them. Like I say, their offensive line is in shambles.
They didn't look good. Let's just put it that way. I don't think this game solved any problems for them other than it saves their season. The Redskins are in an interesting position. They got the Dallas Cowboys on Monday night, I think, and they could really entrench themselves in first place.
That's a danger game for the Redskins. I mean, you can say all you want about how beat up the Cowboys are, but this is it's a just like it was Detroit and Green Bay. It's a divisional rivalry.
Yeah,
they're gonna throw out the records and throw out. It really doesn't matter who's playing quarterback. And because the Redskins need to win that game so badly, is exactly why they're not going to win it. And I hate the Cowboys. Don't get me wrong, but it's just they got a shot. But
I'm starting to really respect your predictions since you're right on the money on Denver, the Bears, and I think there have been a few other things. And that comment you made about the Broncos and their defense sustaining them was really prescient. And what do you think, Mike?
Oh, I agree. I mean, Denver right now, they're living off their defense for sure. But when it comes to Washington and Dallas, who's going to win that division, and what's the record going to be? Are they going to be less than 500?
No, I think right now I'd still put my money on the Giants just because they've overcome obstacles and they've actually pulled things off. And I think the Giants can still come in at an 8-8.
Yeah, they got the best quarterback of the group.
Redskins, beat the snot out of the Giants, but that really was a good game, by the way. I mean, it was like a street-yard bully, and the Giants for the last 5 games were bullying the Redskins, and this time they finally got up and spit the blood out of their mouths and punched the bully right in the mouth and made them bleed instead.
Yeah,
Whether they can do that to Dallas, though, I'm not sure they can pull it off to Dallas.
Well, Cousins is looking better. He's getting a little bit more comfortable.
Night and day, but the Carolina defense made him look terrible.
Yeah, but then last week he looked well.
But that's not as good of a defense.
But
he looked good against the Patriots as well. It's the defense, and when a defense plays a good game. And here's when I was listening to some of the WTEM. I listened to a lot of them. They're out of Washington D.C. It's the Redskins station, and they were saying they went more in the past games up until that game with New York. They're playing mostly zone with 5 or 6 man-on-man coverages. In this game, they flipped it right around. They played mostly man-on-man with only 5 or 6 zone, and you saw a huge result there. So it caught New York off guard. Now, I don't know what kind of trickery they have with the defense this week, but again, it's Dallas, and Dallas has a pretty decent defense. That's the only reason they've stayed in the game today. The offense just...
Yeah, the offense, though, we know what that offense is like.
Well, you're at home, so you got that going for you.
Yeah. So anything this week that you think we should pay particular attention to, any of these lovely matchups? There's some real dog of matchups here, but there's a few good ones towards. I'm interested in that Denver-San Diego game. I think San Diego still has something to prove and could against.
That's a divisional game. I don't have it in front of me, but have they already played this year?
Did they play in Denver? I don't.
Yeah,
think
I think San Diego already beat Denver, didn't they?
I just don't remember.
No, because Denver was undefeated, so if they did play early in the season.
I have a feeling they haven't played yet.
They might play this week and then the last week, but if they did play, I think maybe they played week 1 up in Denver, but I think Denver won.
Well, it's one of those teams, and
I
watch Denver a lot, and it's in that division, it's highly unusual you sweep somebody twice. So check the record. If they've already beaten San Diego once, I just would have a hard time picking Denver this week. If they haven't, and this is the first game.
Denver's a slight favorite. Carolina, New Orleans, that could be a trap game for the Saints, for the Panthers.
Absolutely.
Panthers, because
absolutely, I would take the Saints there on the points.
Yeah,
Carolina's not going to go 16-0.
And the best, the best game looks to me like Indy Pittsburgh could be a really good game.
I was just going to get to that one.
Yeah.
And Luck isn't starting, but. Who's the backup?
Hasselbeck.
Yeah.
Hasselbeck. Thank you. Seattle guy Hasselbeck. I think the defense is coming on really strong for the Colts, and the line's actually getting some traction on the running game. And Hasselbeck's a good game manager, kind of like a Baltimore quarterback. He's not going to win you a bunch of games, but he's not going to do it all by himself. But he can manage the different pieces in there relatively effectively.
Yeah, he's done well. He's done well in the games that he's started.
So it sounds like you like Indy.
Now, the only problem is last year when Indy went and played Pittsburgh.
They got torched.
Yeah, like 51 to Peterson. So that's the only thing you got to get over.
Yeah.
Luck isn't in there, and they got a little different running. They got that San Francisco running back now.
Gore,
Yeah, Gore. So I'm tempted to go Colts this week.
Okay. Well, I'll go Steelers because I've got to. They've got to win this game to stay in the hunt and for me to stay excited about them. And Seattle, Minnesota could be interesting. Those are two decent teams. We got to go to a break, I guess. So I'm going to have to let you go, Eric. I wish I could talk to you for another half hour.
Thanks, Eric.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, Mike and Chabdog, thank you so much.
Talk to you soon.
All right. All right, we'll be right back. This Kcaa, is AM 1050, FM 106.5.
Don't you love her madly? Don't you need her badly? Don't you love her way?
If you're trying to prevent home foreclosure, you need a law firm with extensive experience representing clients in protecting their homes from foreclosure. The Goodman Law Firm is a nationwide team of mortgage mitigation attorneys that provides legal advice and expertise you can trust. Our nationwide network includes local of-counsel foreclosure attorneys to represent you during the mortgage mitigation process. The Goodman firm has represented homeowners across the nation in resolving their troubled mortgages. We have the experience and the knowledge you can count on to best represent your interests. The banks have attorneys fighting to protect their interests, and so should you. Call the Goodman Law Firm at 888-800-6030. Take control of your mortgage situation today. Contact us at 888-800-6030 or through our website at arnoldgoodmanlaw.com.
Check out my sports blog, your home for head-of-ear sports headlines. At Chabdog, we cover the world of sports, from NFL to competitive eating. At our blog, you'll also find Chabdog's own brand of uniquely original blogcasts for the major sports events. We hit home runs with our coverage. We also have a reading room where you'll find interviews running across the sporting spectrum, along with our vote questions, our Chabdog Gnostications, and of course our much-beloved Chabdog of the Month. What you can count on from Chabdog is our stretching the playing field envelope to find the humor, irony, and weird connections that are always living beneath the surface of the sporting world. Check us out at chabdog.com. The law office of Brandon S. Chabner, serving clients in Southern California with transactional legal services since 2007. We handle general, corporate, outside counsel type work, drafting and negotiating a wide variety of business and commercial contracts, including non-disclosure agreements, independent contractor agreements, and employment agreements. Our experience includes working with public and private companies and involves a broad range of industries, including healthcare, consumer products, real estate, and high technology. Mr. Chabner has over 20 years of legal experience, having worked for some larger national firms and serving as general counsel for a multi-million-dollar private company here in Southern California before starting his own legal practice. His educational credentials include a law degree from UCLA, where he was on law review, undergraduate degree at Yale, where he graduated magna cum laude, and an MBA from Harvard Business School. Other areas of focus for Chabner Law include press release and business plan editing, pre-litigation matters, and debt and mortgage resolution work. You can contact us at 310-698-0740 and at bchabner@chabnerlaw.com.
You're listening to KCAA, your good neighbor along the way.
Okay, we're back for the second half of Chabdog Sports Talk. AM 1050, FM 106.5. All right, now we're going to go back in time a little bit to an age of, I guess, where living was maybe easier and cleaner. And Stanley Herman, are you there?
I'm up and bright today, and I appreciate you having me on your show.
Yeah.
You know something, sir, Chanabred?
Yes.
You are, I have to say this, you are a sports earthquake of light. And what do you got to say to me, my friend?
I got to say thanks for getting up so early. I know you're an actor, and you keep kind of different hours, but I appreciate the... This is about time we had you on. This is Mike Patterson is my co-host here. Say hello to Stanley.
Stanley, it's nice to meet you, sir.
And you can call him Uncle Stanley, right? Stanley, can he call you Uncle?
You know, yeah, he can call me Uncle. It's okay. I'm an uncle, but I'm more of a grandfather now.
Yeah,
bless.
He is, and he's in good shape for a grandfather too. He runs. You still run 5 miles every once in a while, or maybe 7?
I do 7. I did marathons at the age of 66, 67.
Holy cow!
26 milers. I'm in good shape.
Yeah, and your brain's in good shape too. You have to memorize all those lines. Stanley's an actor, and
yep. I'm an actor.
I've been in some things.
The last big film I did was Black Swan for Darren Aronofsky.
Yeah. Well, I'm looking at some other pictures of yours right here, and you're a pretty studly guy in 1954. Playing high school. Were you playing high school football in '54?
I want to make a correction there. That was 1951.
Okay, because it said 54, I think, on the high school website.
Well, that's no problem.
But
Cool.
this is Stanley, number 42. Did you see my little spread I put out there on Facebook for you?
Yes, I thought it was terrific. I really appreciate it. I want to say something about football.
Yeah, please, go ahead.
Because football was, I'm going to say, really an inspiration for me. I started as a youngster as an artist, which was innate. It wasn't something that was a dream or a great desire, but I excelled in it. And I had been chosen to draw a mural for the Golden Jubilee, 50 Years of Progress in New York City. I'm from Brooklyn.
Yeah.
But I was a street kid, and I was very competitive. The physical part of the world was exciting to me. I became a gymnast. And then when I was chosen to represent the schools with my art, I got an invitation to go to Pratt Institute. And my parents were very happy about it because they decided I was going to be a commercial artist. But I saw a football game at Ebbets Field. That's where the Brooklyn Dodgers play.
Oh, yeah.
And I got very excited. I said, wow, that's for me. I'm going to be a football player. Forget the art. I got to go home and tell my dad. So I had a confrontation with my dad. He was very depressed over it. He said, Stanley, they'll kill you. You weigh 130 pounds. I said, no, Dad. The point being is
nice Jewish boys don't play football.
What was that?
Nice Jewish boys don't play football.
Well, there were some good.
There are a few.
In those days.
Stid Luckman, right?
And
yeah.
There was a couple of real good football players.
Yeah.
But football, football taught me a lot. Unity, how to work with people. And so I was very fast, and I made a deal with my father. I said I'd take major art in high school, but I want to go out for the football team. I went out for the football team, and I guess I weighed about 130 pounds. The coach calls me over and says, kid, you got a lot of good moves, and you're really fast, but why don't you come out for the football team next year? Go home, put on some weight. Well,
he gave you $20 like Rodney Dangerfield and Caddyshack. Put on some weight.
I'm going to tell you, I went home, drank malteds for a whole year with eggs in it, put on almost 30 pounds, came out, went out for the team, made first string, all city, had 28 football scholarships, and I fooled everyone. What was it all about? It was all about desire. I tell youngsters, if you have a dream, go for it. It's freedom. And so my only other, I'm going to call it a dream, was to play football. I said, I'm going to be a football player. So when I got drafted I had these scholarships. I went out of town to college. I broke my collarbone. I came back to NYU on a scholarship. They dropped football, and all of a sudden I'm in the Army at the end of the Korean War, and I go out for the football team. This is interesting. I'm in Fort Lee, Virginia. I'm going down and out. Leo Miles from the New York Giants is the secondary, and I'm cutting the course, and the quarterback is not hitting me, and I want to make the team very bad. I come back, and the quarterback says to me, hey, kid, listen, you got a lot of moves. You're really fast, but I can't hit you. You're faking me out. Why don't you just go a little slow? So I went slower. The guy hit me every time. I made the team in Fort Lee, Virginia, and I go over to him. I went over to him. I said to him, hey, thanks so much. I really appreciate it. What's your name? He says, Ted Marchabroda.
Oh, my God. You know that name, right?
Yeah, I remember that name.
The Colts coach.
Yes. It's a true story.
Teddy Marchabroda. So
he went on to be, I think, the coach of the Redskins. He played for St.
And the Colts. The Colts.
Oh, the Colts. That's
yes.
Right.
He was in the 70s.
A Chabdog. I got to tell you something. My style, I played out of a single wing and T formation. And my coach one day sees a write-up in Life magazine about a priest who's teaching pros and college stars how to kick a quick kick on a third down.
Mm-hmm.
And I was kind of powerful. So my coach took me out there, and Father Fenton, that was his name, who liked me and tried to convert me, incidentally. But that didn't work. But he made me into such a fabulous kicker on a third down. And, a third down...
Yeah, a drop kick. Is that what it's called?
A what?
Is it called the drop kick, I think?
It's called a quick kick.
Quick kick, yeah, because I think...
So basically you're just punting the ball. Because back in the day...
Yeah, but you let it hit the ground.
Well, no, but back in the day...
No, that's drop kick. That's a drop
Right,
okay.
the drop kick you could do and kick a field goal.
Well,
No. No. A drop kick is something very, I don't think it's really used. It's almost like a trick kick. I just learned how to kick a spiral, because when you kick a spiral, the ball goes forward when it hits. And if you can do it to the coffin corner, it's something special.
So you got good at punting spirals.
A lot of times a guy will kick a ball 40 yards and 50 yards, it'll hit the wrong way and come back 10. So this priest taught me how to kick in a spiral. We spent hours. It's a really a unique way which I have not forgotten.
Yeah.
And so, to make a long story short about that. Oh, by the way, did you see the Lions Green Bay Packer game?
Yeah, we did. We were talking about that. Did you watch that?
It's unbelievable that Aaron Rodgers to the other Rodgers.
Yes, Rodgers to Rodgers.
It was great.
It was very ironic, wasn't it?
It was ironic, but Chabdog, I lived that. That happened to me
on the field.
And in the last few minutes, it was our rival game, and I was going out of a single wing. We had 3 formations, and I ran the ball about 70 yards down to about the 12, and then there were seconds left. And so the quarterback threw a pass, and we won the game. I think it was 26-24. But that's always exciting.
Yeah, well,
it's helped me a great deal, football, in my entire life. It's helped me. It taught me how to work with people and just give honor to life, because I learned how to stay in the moment, which I still practice today, because, this is what we have, the moment. Us talking right now took us all our lives to come to this moment.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to appreciate it. And I tell, everyone to, like I said before, I love talking to youngsters and encouraging them. And I'll tell you the truth, I go out here in Santa Monica and I still play a little football with some of these young people out here, and I blow them away. Because when I go down and out and take them out, and then I tell them I'm going to be 82 years old, they freak out.
Yeah. So you were too fast for the quarterbacks. I'm
sorry?
You were just too fast for the quarterbacks on the passing.
They used to. Not on the passing. Even when I went up the middle.
What was if you had to pick a runner that you kind of like? Can you pick anybody out real quick?
Yes, I can. But I will go back in history because I was in love with
Crazy Leg Hirsch?
From Army, it was Doc Blanchard and Glenn Davis.
Mr. Inside, Mr. Outside.
In college, it was a runner that from Harvard. I think it was Harvard or Yale. His name was Dick Kazmaier.
Oh, yeah, Yale. That's Yale. One of
Yale,
Yale's, yeah, I think that's one of Yale's only claim to fame in football was Dick Kazmaier.
You know something? When he went around the end, and he hit the end running, it almost looked like a robot. He just turned on the steam, and he was unbelievable.
But were you kind of a shifty runner? People couldn't get a clean hit on you, or did you go into people a lot?
I never got hit. To stop me, they had to hit me low in my ankles or my knees, because I was extremely shifty. Extremely.
Yeah.
All my runs were very, very long. Very long runs.
Well, Stanley's he's a shifty guy on the field, but he's a straight-up guy in life.
Yeah, that's something.
You're one of my best friends, Stanley. I hope you know that.
Hey, Chabdog, I'm going to put you in my will. Thank you.
Oh, well, give me your cleats or something, or a piece of sod from Samuel Tilden High School, that wondrous institution named after. I think it might be one of the only high schools named after a guy that lost the election. He won the popular vote, but he lost the election. Did you know that, Mike?
Right.
Did not.
You're 100. Yes.
1876. Samuel Tilden.
That high school. We were 6,000 students. That was a big school, so the sports were very competitive. There were a lot of guys who played against high schools that were all boys schools. I was supposed to go to Wyoming with a guy by the name of Mastro Giovanni. Chabdog, I fell in love with a girl.
Stanley, we'll have to deal with that on the next episode, okay?
I'm ready for it.
I'm going to have you back, okay? But you were part of the history of this country in football, along with Crazy Legs Hirsch and all those other guys back there.
Oh, my God,
But-
crazy. He was also an idol of mine.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
We got to go to our break, but thank you so much for calling in.
And thank you. God bless you. Have a
All
beautiful day.
We'll be back. Chabdog Sports Talk, KCA, AM 1050, FM 106.5.
Don't you love her madly? Or don't you need her badly? Don't you love her ways?
If you haven't been listening to Chabdog Sports Talk for the last 2 months, here's a little bit of what you've been missing.
The 9/11 show, the first show that I did on Friday night, and this was a special show. All right, let's hear it. Ron Abrams, one of my buds.
Doing great. I made it here without the use of the helicopter. Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah. What fight song are we listening to?
What fight song?
Sounds like a little Hail Redskins.
What else could it be, Mike?
I mean, at one point in time, the Redskins had one. You can cut the song now. The Redskins have Achilles heel injury, like Sonny Jurgensen style. Yeah. Or Billy Kimmler. I forget which Redskin. I think they both had Achilles heel injuries. But anyway, and I'm writhing on the ground, and what does Chabdog do?
Get up!
He's begging me to get up and finish the game. And,
Get up, you lazy bum.
And I hadn't even, the pain had not even worn off yet, and it wasn't wearing off, and I was just on the ground. We had a burrito on the line, plus the soda machine.
Yeah, that's soda
I think
machine.
I ended up still buying you the burrito that night.
I didn't know he was that hurt, first of all.
That's cold, man. That is cold. But that's the kind of competitor that the Chabdog is. So,
And you know they're going there. So I don't understand why you wouldn't blame it on the Steelers had problems with their radio headsets. I heard, and the Patriots didn't. So no.
Discussing the opening game, Steelers Patriots.
Both teams had problems with their headsets. Yeah, it's just the Steelers talked about it more. Yeah, well, when you lose, you complain more, I guess.
E-Digits. Lock 'em in for more information, recreation, and guaranteed fun. KCAA.
Okay, it's time for the home stretch of Chabdog Sports Talk, AM 1050, FM 106.5. Let's get to our last guest, last but not least. It's the menace himself, Dwayne Dennis. Hey, Dwayne.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Did you ever see that show, Dennis the Menace?
Oh, yeah, it was one of my many nicknames, Dennis the Menace.
We've got another song for you, too. You've heard this, haven't you?
Oh, yeah.
This guy looks kind of like he could be in a Beach Boys surfer movie. He's this blonde hair, and he went to, of all places, UCSB.
Great place, great campus.
Yeah.
You know,
someone had to suck it up and go up there and fill a spot.
This is my co-host, Mike Patterson, and he's a kindred spirit for you because Mike can tell you a lot about his pitching activities.
Well, I don't want to go too on about that. We've talked about that at nauseum in the past, but yes, I was a pitcher. I played in college 4 years.
Of the left-handed variety. Dwayne, were you righty or lefty? I think you're righty, right?
I was a righty, yes.
Yeah.
Before we get too far into this, at the top of the show, we discussed the tragedy that happened down here, and a lot of times we put things in the vault of our mind, but UCSB suffered a similar tragedy not long ago, a couple years ago, the city of Goleta and UCSB. So, we should always keep those people in our thoughts as well.
Yeah, those were some scary times, especially a lot of people that we know up there, and you always go into a worry about that. And thankfully, everyone we knew was all right, but everyone was affected by it, and big impact.
Yeah, like what happened here.
Yep.
So,
but let's get on to baseball. So where did you go to high school?
I went to Crespi for 2 years, and then over to Calabasas.
Okay.
So you're in the valley, right?
Yeah, up there in the valley, that hot spot in Southern California.
Did you get recruited right at UCSB, or did you go to a JC?
I did not even get recruited. I was a small little guy, 5 feet, 100 pounds, going into high school, and by the time I was a senior, I was a whole whopping 5'11" with a wet towel. I might have weighed $150, and throwing 80 miles an hour. So
you blossomed.
I went straight to Santa Barbara as a walk-on with some hopes and aspirations, and over the summer I started throwing a lot harder and maturing and figuring out what to do, and by the time I was a freshman they had me clocked at 92. So
yeah, I used to reach 90 occasionally.
Yeah, well, you were lefty,
on a good day.
If you hit 82 on a good day, everyone was all over you.
Yeah,
he had that shifty delivery. I'd like to see that.
Mostly 88, but I had a good hook. That's why I got drafted.
That's what I was guessing. If you lefties with that hook, it just strung us up and made us look foolish up there.
Plus, if I got to a 3-0 count, I'd walk the guy on purpose and pick him off.
Oh, you like those moves?
Oh yeah,
I hate it. I hate it when those lefties have those good moves over to first, because I'm watching and if my team gets on base, I'm not feeling too good.
What era did you play at UCSB?
I never ended up playing. I went in as a freshman in '88. I made the 40-man team, if you will, and the coach was a big advocate and brought in a great class of junior college guys, a lot of who I was friends with, and they ended up lobbying the coach when he asked me. He said, "I don't want you to redshirt. I want you to go play. Go to this JC up in Santa Maria where I know the coach. He's a great guy, great program. Go there and then come back in 2 years."
Okay, so did you do that?
Well, my pitching coach was a head scout for the Royals, one of the best guys I ever knew. He's the guy that worked with Saberhagen and signed Brett back in the day when coming out of high school, and he gave me some great advice. He said, "Dwayne, you're 5'11". You throw 92. You're 5'11". You throw 92. Let's focus on the key stat here. You're 5'11".
5'11".
There's a lot of guys that get away with throwing 92 if you learn how to manipulate the ball and move it around.
Yep, exactly. And his whole point was you could be the exception that proves the rule, but my guidance to you would be get the education, keep working on what you're doing, and if there's a great opportunity, you'll get it. But it was some of the most prudent advice that baseball was a business.
Oh yeah.
And
couldn't you get some shoes that were a little higher for you to get you up to 6'1"?
Well, on the black and white of the roster, I put 6'2". I was going with Fletch with 6'9" with the afro.
Baseball's really famous for those fudge numbers on the.
Well, basketball. I mean, when I was in high school, they listed me at 6'4", and I've never been over an inch over 6'2".
No.
So.
Yeah. So you played some at the junior college.
Yeah, so then I figured I played some with the guys on the summer team, the Foresters, which was just a blast hanging with the guys on the team. And then I took a couple of years off, and at Santa Barbara, there's a lot of attractive things that might get your attention.
Sure,
you can say women. We're not gonna get thrown off for that. I don't think, are we? However you want to describe it. Yes, there's also the beach too. You like the waves, right?
Yeah, there was beach, there was volleyball, and, to go out and you work out, and as a young guy, no one ever gave me instruction. I'm saying, don't go work out the chest if you're a pitcher, because then you go from throwing 92 to 85 and flattens out.
So that wasn't good.
No.
Mike was willing to take the sacrifice, I guess, but you weren't, right? So.
I had no idea, and then I went to the city college and played and had a blast over there. The coach said, "Hey, we'll take care of all your classes, even though you go to the UC. Don't worry about it. Come play for us for a year." And went over there, had a blast with those guys. Good coach, good program. And, reality of it. Dave Stewart came in and said, "Hey, guys, one of the greatest things that you should never do is work out your chest." And I go, that would have been good to know.
So you're talking about Dave Stewart, the pitcher for Oakland?
Yeah.
I'll relay a funny story to you. So when I was at Mount Sac, I was an 18-year-old freshman, and we used to have a bunch of guys in the winter come work out with us, Davey Lopes, the Renicky brothers. But so one day I'm in the dugout, and this guy walks in, and he's got legs like tree trunks. And he sits down, puts on his spikes, and he looks over and he goes, "Hi, fellas." I mean, this guy's 6'4", 230 or 220, whatever, and just, got legs like you wouldn't believe. And then to listen to his voice, I'm like, oh, my. But then Maz tells me to grab a glove because Dave wants to work on comebackers. So I grab my glove. he threw the heaviest ball. It felt like a shot put.
It was a lead like
he was just kicking his leg and throwing it home, and Maz was hitting them comebackers. But every time I caught it, I'm like, ow.
Well, Dwayne, I'm glad that you didn't give in. You're still working your chest out. That's good. I know. I see you in there playing tennis. You know, I'd be the worst pitcher in the world because that's all I like to do is go in there and bench stuff like that. That's the fun stuff to do when you're weightlifting.
Chabdog tells me that so after you got done playing college and getting your degree and such, that you still played like a little semi-pro ball, men's league, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that was fun. And I tried out during the strike and got asked back with a bunch of AA and AAA ball players when they did the program.
Oh, nice.
I woke up the next day and said, I can't do this. There's no way in heck I can throw like these guys. My arm's not spaghetti anymore. And yeah, it was a heck of a lot of fun. Going through it, you learn, and the friendships, the things that you take out there, that competitive spirit. Walking on that field, there's just something about once you step across that line.
Yep. Yeah, I played with a group of guys that we played in college together, or everybody knew each other from playing in different, leagues and college and such. And we played together for a number of years. We formed our own club, and the first year we were together, we played 84 ball games one summer. We'd play a doubleheader on Saturday, doubleheader on Sunday, and Wednesday night game. And I still, have friendships from there that, have lasted we haven't played for 20 years.
Well, Dwayne, you get a lot of satisfaction still, though, out of working with kids, right? And in the don't you do stuff with little leagues? And
I did for a long time. I do stuff with guys at the high school. They'd asked me to help out over here at Maricosta a few years back, and it's an amazing experience to show the things that you learn to the kids, that when their eyes light up and they go out and have success, and it's just that it's more rewarding than going out there and having the success yourself for me.
Yeah, I enjoyed coaching for a few years as well. One of the things I always thought was it would be great to have my 40-year-old brain in my 20-year-old body.
That is sage advice.
For a lot of reasons. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the things that you would have done at Santa Barbara, I wouldn't have wanted to have the 40-year-old brain when I was 20 years old at Santa Barbara. I will say that.
I've spent a Halloween up there, and I know it's a fun place to be.
So it's good to be a gaucho.
It is always a good day to be a gaucho, except our football team is undefeated since 1992. I will say that's the proud thing of being a gaucho.
You're undefeated?
Yeah, because they don't have a team any longer.
So you haven't played?
No.
Okay, that doesn't really.
I think
they don't go together. I don't think in a certain sense.
I think Cal State Fullerton's got you beat.
Yeah.
So when you were
to a vote.
So when you were at Cal State Fullerton hasn't had a team since the 80s. So when you were going to school there, when you went down to the beach, did you have to come back to the dorm and wash the tar off your feet?
We did, most definitely. That tar, it left a mark.
Yep. Yeah. No, I experienced it myself. So yeah, it was an unfortunate disaster, but it's one of the things that you remember about going up to UCSB.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, if you go down there at night and you wake up in the morning and there's tar all over your bed, you kind of
Yeah, they used to have some kind of special sauce in the dorm room showers where you could get the tar off your feet.
All right, Dwayne. Well, I'll see you around the Manhattan Country Club, the weight room, and I'll be watching you playing doubles. You're quite a player, so.
Yeah, and I'll get someone else to spot me or to help spot you when you do that chest exercise and throw up 800 pounds, man.
No, it's only 300 something. Well, thank you so much for being our guest. It was great having you on.
My pleasure, Chabdog. Anytime. Great to be on here, and keep kicking butt out there.
I will. All right. Well, we're going to sign off now. I think this is it. This is the end of the line. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back next week with another great show
of Chabdog Sports on KCAA 1050 AM and 106.5 FM. Have a great weekend.
Thanks.
This is 1050 AM KCAA Loma Linda and 106.5 FM Yucaipa.
Starts now.
Championship Saturday has begun. I am Keith Irizarry. You've got Temple and Houston playing right now in the American Athletic Conference Championship game. Houston up 17-3. Temple is driving. It is early in the third quarter. Later today, we've got 4 more championships to be decided. It's Florida and Alabama at the Georgia Dome for the SEC crown. Bama has won 4 in a row in the series, outscoring the Gators 1